Hey everyone, so today's finance topic is ratios. Today I'll be discussing specifically leverage ratios, with examples being debt to equity ratio and debt to asset ratio. So what are leverage ratios? Leverage ratios measure how much a company relies on debt financing. They help assess a company's long-term financial stability and its ability to meet obligations to lenders and creditors. Examples of leverage ratios, as mentioned before, is debt to asset ratio and debt to equity ratio. So what is debt to asset ratio? Debt to asset ratio measures how much a company is using its debt to finance its assets. An example is Apple, who has currently around a total debt of $111 billion and total assets of $350 billion. The debt to asset ratio is around 32%. This means 32% of Apple's assets is funded by debt. Now, a higher debt to asset ratio implies more financial risk, as they're using more debt to fund the assets rather than any other funding, such as equity fundings, etc. And a lower debt to asset ratio reflects the opposite. Similarly, debt to equity ratio shows how much debt a company has relative to the shareholders' equity. Now, shareholders' equity is comprised of retained earnings or common preferred stock. Retained earnings just mean money the owners have put into the business, and preferred or common stock is money raised by buying shares. So yeah, that's what shareholders' equity refers to. And Apple, for example, has around a debt to equity ratio of around 1.54, with $111 billion in debt and around $72 billion in shareholders' equity. Now, that does show that Apple uses leveraging for their financing quite a bit, and they can afford to do so because of their high cash flow and turnover. And that also means that for every $1.54 of debt, they have $1 of equity. So that's a wrap for this video, guys. Next video will be what to look for when investing in the company. I'll see you in the next.